Hello everyone, my name is Moji. You're watching a Bitcoin Bubble News channel. Taking a look at Bitcoin's picture right away before we do anything else. Take note that Bitcoin went up a lot over the weekend. This is where things get tricky. Over the weekend, Bitcoin's traffic was pretty much the lowest it has ever been. Don't let that fool you. Since there is no volume behind a bounce, I don't believe it. For one thing, it could be institutional manipulation, and for another, it could just be small investors buying it up. But you want that more space. If not, you won't be able to hear the volume or the point of control in this range. I believe that is very risky. You did have a bounce, but look at where it went. Bitcoin has shown that the bull market is back on track by holding on to the $60,000 support level at the end of each week, month, and quarter. And changes in the market show that bullish confidence might be building. Bitcoin started the third quarter of 2024 with a strong move above $60,000. It ended the quarter at $62,500, showing that it is strong. BTC/USD hit a new high of $63,750, but it hasn't yet confirmed a clear return of the bull market. The fact that Bitcoin's price stayed above the important $60,000 level is a good sign. But there is a lot of support at $64,000, where several trend lines meet. On the edge of optimism, traders are waiting for a close above the 21-week moving average to prove a bullish trend. Market volatility is likely to be affected by new U.S. unemployment numbers and statements from Fed Chair Jerome Powell. It will be interesting to see how Powell's speech on July 2nd and the release of Fed meeting minutes on July 3rd go. Even though the network complexity is expected to drop by 5%, Bitcoin miners are still having a hard time. The hash ribbons measure shows some giving up, but the fact that miners are selling less suggests that profits might be on the way up again. The crypto fear and greed index has moved from fear to greed, which shows that the market is feeling better. At 36, Bitcoin's relative strength index RSI shows that it has been sold off too much, which could lead to a bounce. Let's try to add some more energy. You also need to break above this level and confirm again. You get above the level and make sure. It might be able to take off. We might be able to start moving up towards this top band right here on the chart. Now look at the bottom to see where this went, right? That's why we had the rollover. There is a trend line that goes back through this area, through this low point, and all the way to that other low point. It was the wick, or I should say the tail low right down there. There is also a secondary trend line here. This is the main support right now around 60, 59, 58, and 60,000. Again, we're getting squished in this small area as long as that stays the same. If we go down, 56.5 is the most important technical level for you. After that, the big level for me is 50,000. That is a huge level if it ever comes back. It is also a level of Fibonacci repeat, so pay very close attention to that, alright? We're just waiting to see right now. I think Bitcoin has a small negative bias right now, but not a heavy negative bias. This is because it's still holding this area and hasn't confirmed that it's above this zone yet. Ethereum. Take a quick look at Ethereum. There was also a small bounce over the weekend. There is a lot of professional help right here. Take a look at it again. This is kind of where it held. Then there is this trend line that goes up. Now I'm going to show you where this trend line comes from. This level is very interesting to me as a turning point. Now, what do I mean when I say spill point? As long as you stay above this line, you're at a pivot point. So let's go. This is something I want to bring up. As long as we stay above this point. I would say that Ethereum has a neutral to positive bias. This means that if it falls below this level and stays there, you can buy it for a possible move up. That being said, you should start to worry if it confirms below this level, since this is what I would call a long-term rising line. The word uptrend is very important, right? So this is the rising line. If prices drop below this, you could actually get out. The first goal would be around 2,800 right now. At this low point, it could go even lower. To stay bullish, we want to see price stay above pivot big trend lines. If they go below, though, that trap door opens up and things can slide down. Gold comes next. Gold, which has been pretty stable all day, went up a little earlier. Once more, look at this, the bear flag design didn't work out. Also, look at how hard it is to get back above that line. I'm still not bullish on gold because this line is likely to be tested again. If this line breaks, the next level is this line, which is around 2,200. In the short term, though, I still don't think gold will go up. Don't forget that this week's jobs report will have an effect on gold because it will have an effect on the US dollar. Before the market opens, there isn't much going on with the SP 500. volume is very, very low. First, this is kind of where the day ended on Friday. On Friday, there was a sell-off, which means that the markets went down. Let's remember that early morning pop on Friday. After that, prices went down for the rest of the day. It wasn't a big drop, but it was the end of the quarter. So it's likely that some positions were stopped, which put some pressure on the markets. And again today, we're flat to up across the board. Nvidia's price is going down a little. It was down more than $2 this morning, but now it's only down about 50 cents. Before I talk about any other charts, I'd like to quickly talk about what happened on Monday in the macro market. Also, there is a lot of business information on the homepage. You can also find confirmed charts for stocks, ETFs, and cryptocurrencies, as well as the most up-to-date charts for Bitcoin and Ethereum. You can also find technical analysis for the Nasdaq 100 and bank ETFs. But today I want to show you some scary statistics I've been looking at. First, this is the one I wrote about. It's so sad in so many ways. We hear that the economy is still growing and adding jobs. The Fed says, hey, listen, things are still good, prices are still very high. I agree with that. Prices are still very high. But take a look at this title. In just the last year, the number of emergency withdrawals from 401k plans went up by 40%. Also, it's been up 100% since 2021. For certain reasons, you may be able to take money out of your retirement plan through a hardship withdrawal. Most of what we saw was for housing to keep people from losing their homes to foreclosure, which is even more surprising since we were told that no one would have problems with their houses. Rates have been set at 3% for all of them. Then, of course, there are still problems with paying the mortgage, right? Guys, I think we all need to be aware of this. The economy is dying from the bottom up. Again, I don't mean that it's not good in a lot of situations. You're doing really, really well if you have money in the market on the long side. You're in a lot of trouble if you don't have investments. If your investments are low, the economy is bad under the surface again, folks. This number should also scare all of us. How long can we keep going like this and keep the economy moving? Just ask the AI stocks. As long as those stocks stay good and keep going up, I think it will keep the market stable. Rich people with those investments will continue to spend, which will keep the economy growing at least a little. But once more, those in the bottom, let's say 50%, still have a hard time.